from his studios in New York. It's time for Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Here's your host, Dan Tortora.
Welcome here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Very, very blessed to be here every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, hanging out with you. This week, we're going to have a shortened week. We'll be off this Thursday and Friday, and next Monday and Tuesday, because this man who works every day, all day, wants to spend some time relaxing with the beautiful, wonderful wife, being a giant kid. So my wife and I are taking a little relaxation time, and then I'll be back here on the air to hang out with you. So I'm very excited about that opportunity to be here back with you next Wednesday, a week from today. So please make the note, there's over 960 shows to listen to on wakeupcalldt.com by going to the RSS feed, the iTunes podcast, the Podbean podcast, the TuneIn radio app, as well as so many other ways. You can get on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and connect with the show, so you'll not have a moment when I am away to truly feel like I am away, because we're always connecting you to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora with over 500 articles to read, as well as over 1,000 videos on youtube.com/wakeupcalldt, videos on facebook.com/wakeupcalldt, and of course, the library of over 960 shows. You can also stay on wakeupcalldt.com and click on the show archive, and that'll go all the way back to July of 2012 as well, so you can catch them all there. With us being off this Thursday and Friday, we're putting Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday show all together, folks. We're going to make it happen. So with that being said, we are starting off this morning with the morning menu, and then we're jumping into a bunch of different things. Let's get it going.
Here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. We like to start off the show by giving you our menu of topics. The morning menu, that is. Live now with the morning menu is Dan Tortora.
Here on the broadcast, the morning menu, proudly presented by all the great partners of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Today's show, like I said, being off this Thursday and Friday, we are morphing everything together. We're going to start off today with the annoying moment of the week. From there, coaching with class is going to combine with significant soundbite. Well, actually, coaching with class is going to feature, as it always does, Katie Kalinsky, who spent 7 years on the staff of Jim Boeheim, and she will be on the show at 9:15 a.m. this morning. Then at 9:30 a.m. this morning, it's Significant Soundbites, which you usually hear on Friday. That'll be live with Coach Q, Quentin Hillsman of the Syracuse Orange women's basketball team, their head coach, coming off of another top 10 recruiting class for 2018 coming in. So Coach Q will be Significant Soundbites. And then right after Q, we will roll into West Genesee and the special that we did from the Wildcat with the West Genesee Girls Lacrosse team, which is a can't-miss extensive segment of today's show, and I can't wait to bring that to you. So, annoying moment of the week, followed by Coaching with Class with Katie Kalinsky, Significant Soundbites with Coach Q of Syracuse Orange women's basketball, and with the West Genesee Wildcats girls lacrosse team, the number one seed in the playoffs right now. The annoying moment of the week, let's get it rolling.
Dan Tortora proudly brings you...
Is that for real? Are you kidding me?
The annoying moment of the week.
I really, honestly, I don't know how to respond to this.
Presented by Carvel DeWitt, 4322 East Genesee Street. It's what happy tastes like.
Do you have to be that crazy? I guess so.
Today's annoying moment of the week for this week, folks. You know, it's so easy to find. It's so easy to find annoying moments of the week. The annoying moment of the week for this week has to be the fact that we are still in our society, and still, with everything going on, we're dealing with these horrible, sad moments in schools. I don't have children yet. I mean, I have my little Lillian, and she's my baby. I don't have a human baby, I guess I would say. And I said to my wife, I said, the more of what's going on, the more I want to homeschool if we have children. Just let them stay in the house, because it's just too much. And it's very sad. It's very sad what's been going on. So I know that I've talked about it here on the show before. I know that I've mentioned it before. But please, 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 please continue to pray for the schools around the country. Continue to pray for our students. Continue to pray for our teachers, for our administrators. The thing is, we want to go to the movies to relax and get away, not be afraid in the dark. We want to go to school to learn and have fun and build a community and break down barriers, not to be afraid. We want to be able to go to an auditorium, to a game, to anything, to a concert, to Vegas, and not be afraid. So, just pray. Pray for the souls of the people that are doing this thing. You know, we always pray for the victims, but we don't pray for the perpetrators always. And we don't get asked to pray for the perpetrators. And you have to pray for the perpetrators, because if you don't pray for them to find God, then we're doomed to have another incident with that person or somebody else. So pray for the people that feel that it's okay to go out and hurt the world. Pray for the people that don't find any problem with going out and hurting the world, because those people need our prayers the most. We got a message here that just came in on the live feed from Johnny. With everything going on in the world with schools, it's unfortunate that I have to think this way, but I have a 3-year-old son at home, and Aaron and I have come to the conclusion that we are going to homeschool him until we see change in the world. And you know what, Johnny, I just brought that up on the show, and I'm sure you heard it or you came in right when you're saying it, but I'm in that position that that's how I feel. We don't have kids yet, but with my wife, I'm in the position of saying maybe we homeschool and try to figure that out, because for me, it's too much. It's too much. And I can't be a dad dropping off my kid at school every day saying, I hope I see you later. You know, kids deal with bullying. They deal with tough tests, pop quizzes, gym class, and everybody trying to be big and bad and prove this and prove that. You know, we deal with so many things, right? How athletic are you? How smart are you? Don't raise your hand all the time. Don't do this. Don't do that, because it's not cool, because it's not this. Then you start to like somebody, and then it's weird because you don't know, like, what do I say, and do I talk to them, and how do I talk to them? Oh, they don't like me. Now they're making fun of me. There's so many things that go on in school that kids have to deal with on a daily basis. They shouldn't have to deal with, am I going to get shot today? An 8-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 20-year-old, a 10-year-old. Nobody should be going to school to get an education saying, am I going to die today? You know, with me growing up, bullying was big, right? Bullying was big. People just disrespecting other people. And bullying still happens today. But now there's mass shootings, right? Now your kid's afraid of the bully and afraid to go to school to get shot and afraid to do this and afraid to sit in the front to get made fun of and afraid to and then afraid to do that. That's ridiculous. These kids should be happy. They should be excited. They should want to learn. They should want to go to school. And let me tell you something about bullies. They suck as human beings when they're grown, okay? Bullies, pray for them too. Because they're so lost that some of them don't even want to be found. And that's sad. And some of them do want to be found. And I pray to God that they're all found. But you shouldn't have to walk up and down the halls wondering who's going to try and steal your lunch money, who's going to throw you up against the locker, who's going to be upset because you're dating a girl that they used to date. And on top of all of that, oh, look, there's a guy with a gun running through the hallway. Where should I go? I'm 8. Okay, I grew up, and this was Israel and Palestine. I grew up, and this is what I saw in the news. Little kids in Israel have nowhere safely to go. Little kids have no idea what's Israel, Palestine, doesn't matter. They get on a school bus, the bus blows up. That was over there. That was sad, tragic, and so far away. Now it's here. That's what I tell people all the time. When you say, well, at least it's not my house, now it is. When you say at least it's not mine, it will become yours someday. Or it'll hit close enough to home for God to say, you might want to rethink that statement that you don't care about humanity unless it's you. Johnny said, I say let's not be afraid, but let's live this life that we are so blessed to have and make the most of it. Amen. That's what they want you to do. They want you to be afraid. They want you to be scared. They want you to be terrified. People that do these things for attention because they don't have self-esteem. They don't love themselves. Newsflash, folks, if you're willing to blow yourself up, you don't care about your life. If you're willing to run around and shoot at kids in kindergarten, you don't feel that highly of yourself. So these people that say, I'm powerful, I'm big and bad, I own you, I decide, I'm God today because I decide if you live or not. No, you're not. You're the farthest thing from God. You're a coward. You're weak. You have no substance in your life. You're seeking it for a moment of fame, a moment of power, a moment to tell people that their life is not as important as yours because you don't think your life is worth anything. There is not a mass shooter or anybody in this world that would hurt another person or bully another person who thinks their life is valuable. They don't see any value in their life. That's why they're doing what they're doing. So pray for them. Pray for them. Pray for them. Pray that somebody gets through to these people before they go and do something stupid. Pray for these people. And don't be afraid to live your life. Don't be afraid to get on a plane. Don't be afraid to go see a movie. Don't be afraid to go to school. Don't be afraid to do this, that, and the other thing. I talk about homeschooling my kid because I don't like the bullying. I don't like a lot of things that go on in schools right now. But ultimately, it's not shying the child away from the world. We live in a society where everybody's nervous, everybody's scared. We don't need to be. But we have to push back. It's very easy to terrorize a world that's divided. And it's extremely easy in today's day and age to terrorize a country that's divided. God is sending us a message. Unite among religions, backgrounds, nationalities, culture, skin color, sexual preference, or else. Unite. Because the thing is, it is very hard to fight a united house. It's very hard to fight a united front. It's very hard. It's easy to fight a divided country. Why do you think people are doing it so much? Hate loves division, but it loathes community. So do me a favor today, and when you see somebody that you don't know, smile. Say hello. When you see somebody that's a different color than you, say, wow, you're just as beautiful as anybody else. When you see someone that celebrates a different religion than you do, say, you know what? I'm going to read up on that a little bit. I want to learn about that religion. Seek to understand. Seek to grow as a human being. Seek to get to know the person next to you. Because once you know them, it's a lot harder to turn the other way. For you and for them. So seek community. And seek each other. That's how we change the world. Johnny said, let's all shine a little light in the world. in this darkness to brighten up everybody, make it a better place. That's what we're all about here on Wake Up Call. The annoying moment of the week, that the world isn't as good as it should be. The remedy, we can change it today. Go be nice to somebody today. We'll take a fast break. We'll come back with Katie Kalinske.
This is a wake-up call fast break.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or ice milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvalanche, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Coaching with Class, you always hear on Thursdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, but because we're doing what Katie's doing, and we're going to take a little break this week, and thank God that we all have the opportunity and the blessing to do so. She's off on the West Coast in Washington, hanging out with Brianna Stewart, Mike Hopkins, and having herself a good time. I can't wait to be on vacation myself and get a little break here. So with that being said, Katie's moved to today just for this week. How you doing this morning, Katie?
Good. And how's it going?
Doing well, and I am ready. I'm ready to put my feet up. How does it feel to relax a little bit?
It's been a really fun week. It's been very stress-free, which is good when you're, job searching. So it's been fun.
Now, bring everybody into, I know you've gotten to do a bunch of things since the last time we talked last week. What's been going on the schedule for you?
Yeah, really, it's just, day by day, I wake up and I never know what I'm going to be doing. So, I got to see Bree play opening night, which was really cool. They had a tough loss, but it was really cool to kind of, after working out with her and stuff and seeing her practice, to see everything come together. And then, I got to spend a little bit of time with Hob. So I think, yesterday, I went to UW, and I just kind of hung out there for the day, where Hob works. So it was kind of cool just to see, him in motion as a head coach and, his assistants. And because they still have school going on. Out at Syracuse is a little different because I think Syracuse is in summer session right now. So they're still finishing the school year. So it's a little different out here than it is in Syracuse.
And what can you say, seeing Coach Hop in action at Washington, what have you taken away from seeing him out there?
I think, it's just really cool to see, his dreams come true of being a head coach and, seeing his leadership. And, obviously as a head coach, it's a lot different because you have a lot more responsibilities as an assistant coach. So, just seeing his day-to-day operation, he's just so busy. So even catching him, in like an hour period during the day is not easy. So, as a head coach, you just have so many obligations and you have so many meetings and so many, different things that you have to do. That's a lot different as an assistant coach.
But when you did get a chance to be around him, I'm sure that he probably treated you like the only person in the room, gave you a giant hug. I mean, we know Mike Hopkins' personality to be very warm. Just what you could say about when he gets to see a blast from the very recent past, so to speak.
Yeah, Hop, he was my mentor at Syracuse. So, just getting to spend a little time with him, his energy is so contagious. He just has a different type of energy that you can't just get anywhere. So, just being around him has helped me tremendous because, just talking to him about my job search and, what I want to do next and, his advice and, just being able to hear it from him, the first person that really, gave me an opportunity is, it's been a blessing for me all week. Just being able to, like yesterday I got to watch the game with him and his family and, just having, those vibes and just, having, genuine people around you has been really, really good for me, as I go through my process right now.
And speaking here with Katie Kalinske, Katie, what can you say about like you said, he's been your mentor. What type of advice has he given you? What are you going to be kind of putting in the suitcase and bringing back with you from Coach Hop?
I think the biggest thing with him is, he just tells me, to follow my heart at the end of the day, and, whatever decision you make, Katie, you can't go wrong. So, with him, it's more so, like, I can just talk about all my situations, maybe what I could do next year, or, people I've talked to, and, he kind of just puts everything into perspective for me, and, he's the type of guy that he'll support no matter what I do. So, just having his support has just been, just kind of cool, just to know that how, he's so genuine and he cares. So, just having that around and just knowing that at the end of the day, no matter what I decide or what I do, he'll always have my back.
And I know that this might be hard for Syracuse fans, but what can you say about his happiness, how he looks, how he's been? I know you said you got to watch the game with him yesterday. How is Hop doing, and how does Washington look on him, so to speak?
At the end of the day, obviously, like Coach Hop, he loves Syracuse probably more than anyone I know. And at the end of the day, he made a decision, and you can't really go wrong, because at the end of the day, he gets to be a head coach out of Washington, and then Syracuse has Coach Boeheim, and who, you can't go wrong there. So I think just kind of seeing him, reach his dreams has been a blessing, and then, with me, I still got to work with Coach Boeheim last year, which was awesome too. Just seeing Coach Boeheim put together a Sweet 16 team. And, Hop's happy, at the end of the day, you just want to see people happy. And, Coach Hop had a dream of being a head coach, and, he worked for it for so many years. And, he did everything he could for Syracuse. So, I think it was a win-win for everybody. And, he's really happy. And, he's building up a team that won 6 games the year before he got there. So, it's never easy, and it's never an easy thing. Like I said, as a head coach, you're so busy. If I get an hour period window during the day where I get to see him, it's a blessing, just because he's so, he has meetings and everything, and, he's literally running a program and literally trying to, change a culture. So, he's happy here, and, obviously a coach of the year, and, they won 20 games or 21, whatever it was. So, yeah, I think it's win-win for everybody.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that wherever he goes, greatness will follow him. And you had an opportunity to watch the game with him. Was he cheering on Golden State or just watching the game?
He was just watching the game, and that's kind of what I do too. I'm a Lakers fan at heart, so when I watch these games, I just try to pick up on different things, on what the players are doing, what the coaches are doing, game situations. And he was just watching the game, and he'll give his input, and it's kind of it's cool just to be able to hear other people's inputs on the games and things like that. And obviously it was a really good game last night, and it was unexpected that Houston came back the way they did. I thought they were gonna, after the third quarter when Golden State went on the run where they couldn't miss, and they were up 10, I thought the game was over. So it was cool to kind of see Houston not give up and come out strong in the fourth quarter.
Does, between you and Mike, I'm sure you talked about this with Mike, speaking here with Katie Kalinsky and coaching with class, do you or Mike believe that LeBron James can ultimately be taken out? Did you talk about that at all?
We didn't actually talk about that, and it's just going to be interesting. I don't know if Boston's going to win another game in that series the way LeBron's playing. But I think it'll be interesting, because I think if Golden State does win the series, I think that Cleveland's not going to beat them. I think if Houston wins the series, I think it gives LeBron a chance. Just because, Houston, I just think Golden State is just really hard to beat in general. So if Houston beats them, it'll be remarkable. And then I just don't know. I think it'll be a good series between the Cavs and Houston if that's what happens.
And, it's very interesting. Like I said, if Houston can steal one, just like Golden State stole one, then all of a sudden we have a game and we have something dangerous moving forward. You said you don't know if Boston will win another game. Now, Boston did show the fact that they could improve. Game 3, they didn't win any of the quarters. In Game 4, they didn't win the first quarter, but they won the second, third, and fourth in Cleveland. Are there any signs to you that they can win in Cleveland? Or, I just don't know what it is, that Indiana pushes Cleveland, that Boston had that 2-0 lead on Cleveland, but it seems like when Cleveland is in familiar grounds, they are an extremely dangerous team. I mean, for Boston's sake, 2 out of 3 games are going to be at the TD Garden, so they don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, there's something about LeBron when he is at home, and there's something about these role players. You know, they say home court advantage, but I think that it's more than clear. I think the definition of home court advantage is this series between Boston and Cleveland.
Yeah, and, the thing is, too, the Cavs have been here before, and, Boston's very young. And, the Cavs aren't scared to go into Boston and play. LeBron's not scared. They have a team of vets, Kyle Korver, LeBron, JR, they're all vets, they've all been there, they've all been in a championship, and Boston's a little different, and, they obviously have Al Horford that, been in the league forever, and besides him, they're very young, so, it'll be interesting to see how Boston responds going back home, and obviously the Cavs have been there before, so I have the Cavs in the series just because of their their vets, and they've been there, and LeBron's close to another championship series, and LeBron wants to be known as the GOAT, so it's just kind of like Houston too. At the end of the day, Chris Paul and James Harden are fighting for their legacies too, and they're fighting for their lives, and that didn't surprise me the way they came out yesterday, because at the end of the day, Chris Paul doesn't want to go out like that. And, Chris Paul's been in the league for how long, and he wants to know what it feels like to go to a championship. So, Chris Paul is going to fight for that, and James, he wants his legacy too. He wants to be known as someone that can win championships. So I think it's cool just to see, everyone, it's different parts, they're fighting for their legacies, and, LeBron wants to be known as better than MJ, and for him to do that, everyone says he needs to win more championships, and and then Golden State is just a team full of all-stars, and, they all have their own legacies that they're trying to, go after. And Kevin Durant, at the end, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, like, I came out to Golden State, I create a super team that's the super team of all super teams, and if I don't win this series, how am I going to look? So, if you really look at it like that, it's really, it's unbelievable, and I think the NBA, this is what the NBA needed, so...
Yeah, and it's definitely been an interesting couple series here. Finally, it's not a blowout on either side, and it's just nice to see there's some competition, because some of these games where teams are winning by 40 and 30 have taken it away. But now that you have a series that's tied on one side, and then you have another series where you don't. I mean, that's tied as well, and you don't really know what's going to happen. 2-2 series with 3 games potentially to go on both sides makes it all the more interesting. And with that being said, we appreciate you coming up a day early here with Coaching with Class. Now head back to bed on the West Coast and enjoy the rest of your day. And obviously, my best to Mike Hopkins and Brianna Stewart, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your time in Seattle.
For sure, thank you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye. That coming from Katie Kalinsky, who needs to go back to bed because it's 6:30 over there. So it's all good. We'll take a step aside, come back with Coach Q with significant sound bites in just a moment.
This is a wake-up call fast break.
Clothing that will change with you without you having to change. DrySigLady.com, DREISSIG Lady.com. With the Bamboo line Relax Fit clothing as well as the Athletic Fit clothing, DrySigLady.com is fit for any woman, any time of the day, anywhere. Whatever you're doing, whatever your day commands of you, command yourself to feel comfortable in Drysig Lady apparel. DREISSIG Lady.com. For all the women out there, feel good in what you're wearing. And don't feel like you have to constantly change throughout the day. Whether you're a stay-at-home mom, a business owner, going for a jog, going for a meeting, or just relaxing at home, DrySigLady.com is the right fit for you. DREISSIG Lady.com.
This is Lawrence Papaleo, licensed real estate salesperson for Gilbo Realty. Call our home office at 315-752-9513, or better yet, call or text me directly at 315-748-2524.
Let me ask you a question, Lawrence. If I needed you to help me buy a house, find the right place, could you help me do that?
Joe, I'll help you find your dream home.
You don't ever say my name on the radio, never. If I needed to sell a house, could you help me go about that the right way?
Yes, I can.
How do they get a hold of you?
Call me directly at 315-748-2524.
But you also do the commercial property. So if I got a business, couple businesses, got to take one here, move it over there, do this, do that, are you going to help me buy and sell my commercial property also?
Yes, sir.
I like that. What's my name again?
I have no idea.
Absolutely, but they need to know your name, so give it one more time.
This is Lawrence Papaleo, licensed real estate salesperson for Gilbo Realty. My phone number is 315-748-2524.
Why don't you tell them your name one more time and that number so we can jot it down?
This is Lawrence Papaleo. Call me or text me directly at 315-748-2524.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Heard all throughout Central and upstate New York, as well as around the country. And I want to thank those of you that have listened outside of the country to the show, from England to China to Russia to Italy to Spain, and I feel very blessed. I have family in Spain. I think they're 6 hours ahead, and when they listen, they send posts, they send videos of listening, and I want to give a shout out to my family in Spain. Much love to that. To Mexico, Canada, so on and so forth. Thank you for being a part of this show. And the reason why I bring up all the places is that Coach Q is somebody who has been building up Syracuse for a while, but not just building up Syracuse in Central and upstate New York, but made a name for this team and pushed this team. Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final Four, championship game, doing all these things, achieving all these things just a couple seasons ago in one season, and then having these top recruiting classes this year, 2018, with 4 coming in, a top 8 recruiting class. So it's not just in Syracuse, but across the country, and even outside of this country, spreading the word that Coach Q and the Syracuse women's basketball team are a force to be reckoned with. And with that being said, Q is on the line right now. Coach, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And I said right as we were coming out of the fast break here that we need to do a Coach Q makeover day, because I feel like I dress good, but nobody dresses as good as you. So we're going to have to make that happen.
Hey, man, let's get that done. I can do that. That's probably easier for me even than coaching, so let's get that done.
And I got to ask you that, where do you pull your style from? Was there anybody that you kind of looked to? Where did the style come from?
My dad. My dad was a dresser, and every morning my dad would get up, shave, put on his cologne, put on his suits, and go to work. And that's where I got that from. I got all my style from my dad. What has been your favorite thing to wear? Do you have, when you go back to games, I know you like to wear vests and whatnot, do you have a favorite outfit that you can remember in the recent history? I don't know if I have a favorite. I think that from year to year, probably styles change for me. So more than anything else, it's just about being comfortable and being creative and putting together a look that I'm proud of.
That coming from Coach Q, one of the best dressed people that I know, and there's been over 1,000 people on the show, Q. So that you can take that as a massive compliment. When I think of who's the best dressed, I think of like the three different things you've worn, but there's nobody else in the top 3. It's just you in different garb.
I'll take it, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Coach, you have a top 10 recruiting class, top 8 recruiting class coming in this year for 2018. It's year to year, it's becoming kind of a known and an expectation that Syracuse's recruiting class will be in the top 15, top 25, now top 8 and whatnot. Just what you can say about what you've done on the recruiting trail and what your coaching staff has accomplished on the trail as well.
That's exactly it, man. It's more them than me. I can honestly say that. Our 2 top 10 recruits come in. Adi Amadou recruited a very talented class we have coming in internationally, and Tammy Reese signed Emily Inkster, who's a kid from New York City, who is a number 10 player in the country. And it's really important to keep the hometown people home, and we were able to keep her home, and that was huge for us going into this season.
And when you look at this class in its entirety, I kind of want to, have you just go down the players. I know you spoke a little bit just there, but what you can say about what each of the 4 young ladies bring to the table.
Well, when you start at the top of our class, I think you have to start with Emily Inksler. She's from New York City. Just a very, very talented player. Played in the All-American game, and is now at the U18 trials. Looking to represent our country in the World Games, and just a very talented player. You got Katiatu Sissoko, a kid that's from France, the 6'3" wing type player that can play pretty much three to four positions for us. Just a really, really athletic player. We have Talia Washington, who's from the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, who's a really, really versatile point guard that can score, set her teammates up, put the ball on the floor. I mean, she's just a really unbelievable threat coming out of the D.C. area. Then we have Kenza Salza, another kid that's from France. That is, it's funny. She's a kid that pretty much has to make a decision to come to college or go pro. So when you're fighting against professional teams, I'm the signing kid. That kid is a very special talent. I mean, she's a very talented player.
And in having this, speaking here with Coach Q and significant sound bites, Coach, just what you can say about not just this class, but over the last few seasons, just what it's been like on the recruiting trail when you're pitching Syracuse, when your staff is pitching Syracuse. Just obviously the response has been very positive for each of you when you've gone out there, because look at the classes you're bringing in. What you could say about how you're received when you're out there recruiting.
It's been amazing, and last year, not to overlook, people come and look at this year's class as being a very good class, but our last year class was the number 2 class in the country, and our 2 freshmen made the all rookie team in the ACC. So obviously that was no fluke that class was ranked that high. It's just very, very talented players, and obviously Tiana led the country in assists. So we've been able just to get talent, and it's really about the success of our program. I have a phenomenal staff with Tammy and Ani recruiting. I think Coach Reed is arguably the best X&O person in the game right now in women's basketball, and we have a system in place. We have good recruiters in place, and we just try to get our kids to play hard, play our way, and it's been successful.
And what is it? I mean, what's kind of in the water that has helped Syracuse rise? Like you said, the number 2 class, top 8 class now. What is it about Syracuse that you just feel has created such a connection? Because before you came to Syracuse, it wasn't talked about a lot. There wasn't a lot going on. There wasn't the expectation of making the tournament, getting deep into the tournament, having these top 10 recruiting classes. So when did this start to change, and what can you attribute to the change?
Well, Syracuse University in itself is a national brand. I mean, when you say Syracuse University, you know what Syracuse is. You can say North Carolina, even North Carolina State, even North Carolina Central, even North Carolina A&T. It could be a lot of different things. Syracuse is Syracuse, and I think that its brand, their brand stands on its own. So academically, and that stuff helps a ton. But I just really believe that we've had some success. We have some kids now that's playing in the WNBA, that's playing with significant minutes and making their careers in basketball, and that helps. And obviously, just winning is the most important thing.
That coming from Coach Q. Coach, before I let you go, you're ranked in the polls here for the upcoming 2018-19 season inside of the top 25. Thoughts on that? Thoughts on it? Does that hold weight? Does it hold value? Some people don't care about the polls. Some people appreciate the respect of the polls. Some people like when they're not ranked because it's a chip on your shoulder. How do you kind of handle the early poll?
Well, it definitely holds value because I think people understand what we have coming in, and we have the writers and the people over there at ESPN and USA Today does these early polls, they understand what the future holds for your program. So we're excited. Anytime you can be ranked, to see your name in rankings, to see people voting for you, it feels good. And obviously, it says a lot about our program, where we're going, and about the talent that we're bringing in.
Speaking here with Coach Q, Quentin Hillsman, Syracuse Orange women's basketball head coach, I want to give a shout-out to Tiana and what she's done. She was named the statistical champion in assists per game in the entire nation. She had 304 assists in total this past season. Just what you can say about what she's meant to the team and having a statistical champion that holds the national record for this past season.
It was a remarkable. Tiana really put the time in to be a good player. Tiana works hard, and Tiana deserves all the accolades and all the things that she's getting to go with it. But she really has worked at her game, and she's just a phenomenal talent, and she's found a way to make herself relevant. Obviously, on our team, but more importantly, and it's winning in the country. So you can't say enough about that.
And you have this, I've joked with you about this before, that you seem to, and I got to say it myself, when you do what you love, it's a work trip, but it's also fun at the same time. You get to spend Thanksgiving in Cancun coming up this season, and I always joke with you that when the weather gets cold, you go somewhere nice. So you have the opportunity to be in Cancun. And just bring me into that, Coach, because, there's been some very, very nice venues for women's basketball for Syracuse recently here.
Absolutely. You have to take good trips, but most importantly, you have to chase good talent and good games, and that's where the talent and the games are at these tournaments. So we're trying to get these tournaments to play BCS quality games and BCS quality schools on neutral sites, and obviously when the basketball is great, but a little bit of sunshine, that doesn't hurt either.
And it'll feature Kansas State, DePaul, Princeton, and yourself. Just what you can say about the level of talent. Like you said, you want to taste good talent early on in the season.
It's tremendous. Those are very good basketball teams. Talking about two BCS quality schools, and Princeton has a team that's really pretty much forgot how to lose. How to lose. That is, that they don't lose many games. They have not lost many players over the years. So it's going to be a very, very competitive and challenging tournament for us.
And when you're planning this out and you're figuring this out, can you just, for me, because people like to live vicariously through you, Coach. You have been to so many wonderful places with this team. Can you name off some of the destinations you've gotten to go to?
Oh my goodness, we've been all over. We've been to the Bahamas, we've been to San Juan, we've been to Virgin Islands, we've been to numerous places. Florida, we've been to the Florida Keys on the tournaments, and that's what they do. They put these tournaments in these nice areas and these nice venues and say who want to come, and teams flock to them obviously for two reasons, for the destination, but I think most importantly, of all of us, we got to go there and get two or three wins, because that's most important.
And I have to tell you that as a broadcaster and owning my own company, I don't have to worry about conflict of interest. So whenever you open up an assistant spot on your staff, just let me know.
I got you.
And before we finish up here, Coach, I know the WNBA has just started things back up again, and not only are they obviously, working hard and have phenomenal women, some of them former Syracuse players, but they also are giving back to women's groups, women's support groups this season. What does it mean to you what the WNBA has become, and the fact that they are reaching out and trying to give an opportunity to put some of these women's groups out there in the spotlight and let people know that they're not alone?
It's fantastic on all fronts. Obviously, when you have a professional league that's pretty much thriving right now and is very solid and very sound, that's amazing for women's basketball in itself, and to really reach out to different organizations and the different groups, and then let them know that they're important and that they care, says everything. And it's a very service oriented league, and I think that it's going to continue that way, and it's going to pay great dividends.
And to also look at something else here in the sports world, you are obviously a man in coaching the women's basketball side of things, and that with yourself, Gino Auriemma, and other people around the country, having a male coach for a women's team has been no issue. But on the other side of it, having a female coach for a man's team, for some reason there's backlash, or there's kind of that tug of war of letting it happen. Becky Hammon, I mean, she got to be on the staff of Greg Popovich, got to be there with the Spurs. He obviously has a lot of respect for her. What do you think about it? Being a male coach in a female's game, do you feel like we're ready to see a female coach a man's team?
I always feel that basketball is basketball, and sport is sport. You know, if you have the knowledge to be able to coach, you have the knowledge to be able to coach any level, any gender. So I don't think gender is a factor. It should be a factor, and you know, Becky has done a fantastic job of kind of moving herself through the ranks. And anytime you can sit with Popovich, you're getting some knowledge that a lot of people want. So I think it's just a matter of time before someone breaks into that league.
And I've got to ask you really quickly here, because this is a question I've been asked on the show, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Dwayne Casey is up for Coach of the Year. He's a finalist for Coach of the Year with you know, Brad Stevens and whatnot. And when we look at Dwayne Casey, the team, the Toronto Raptors, had never been in first place in the East, and they did that. Never had as many overall wins, they did that. Never had as many home wins, they were 34-7, so they did that. And they fire their coach because they can't defeat LeBron James, which I think is a personnel thing and not a coaching thing. What do you think about, A, Dwayne Casey being fired when he's up for Coach of the Year, and B, Toronto congratulating him on social media after firing him?
It was funny because I missed the social media part of it. That was kind of odd, obviously, but you know, it's funny because you never know how organizations or how management, you know, quantifies, or you know, how they chart success. And success could have been to them, hey, if you make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, it's been a bad year. And unfortunately, I thought he had a fantastic year. I thought that he had some talent, but obviously when LeBron has proven that he is what he is, and that he's dominating the playoffs right now. So I don't, you know, if you're going to start firing people for losing to LeBron James, then we don't have any coaches in our league.
That's very true, and I echo those sentiments. With that being said, Coach, I know basketball is basketball, so I know you've been watching. The series are tied 2-2, Boston and Cleveland, as well as Golden State and Houston at the time of our conversation right now. Who's going to the NBA Finals?
I think, well, if somebody put my feet down right now, I still think the Golden State's going to find a way to win their series, and I think that the way LeBron is playing right now, I mean, I don't know if anybody can really slow him down unless he wants to be slowed down. So those are my two.
Can anybody beat Golden State though if they get to the finals?
I don't know. I mean, you know, in a 7-game series, but the way they play, I think it'll be tough. But obviously, if you have a player that's really playing at the level that when LeBron James is playing, he's been kind of willing his team to win. So I think that, you know, if you get him there, it's hard to choose against him and to vote against him, but you just never know with these series.
No, and it's definitely going to be something interesting with the level of talent that is on both sides of things. And speaking of talent, once again, top 8 recruiting class coming in for 2018. 4 young women coming into Syracuse to continue the rich history that Coach Q started at Syracuse in recent years here and what you've been building up. Coach, I know we're going to make this a regular thing, and I appreciate the time that we've had here on the show today. Thank you for always taking a few moments, and it's always good to bump into you in the airport.
I appreciate it, man. You take care now.
All right, but when you're going to Cancun, I'm going to change my flight and go that way.
As you should.
I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Coach.
All right, have a good one. All right, thank you.
You too. Bye. That coming from Coach Q once again. We'll take a quick step aside for a fast break. When we come back, a very special interview is coming up next.
This is a wake-up call fast break.
This is Jimmer Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. I kept putting Chick-fil-A in my life, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process that positively impacting the lives of others was really core to what we do here at Chick-fil-A. First of all, it starts with the food. The food is brought in fresh daily. We bring in local produce. We prepare to order in the kitchen. We hand bread our chicken. We hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. It's different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
Hi, this is Domenico Vitali, owner of Giovanni's Formal Wear, where you look great and feel even better with our renowned tailoring and alteration services on any suit or any tuxedo from anywhere. Call 315-455-8729. That's 315-455-8729. Stop in locally on Route 11 in North Syracuse, next to the Ponderosa Plaza, where you can choose your style, get fitted, and tailored, all at Giovanni's Formal Wear.
I'm George Townsend of Honda City with some good advice when buying a new car. The true cost of owning a new car is determined by the appraised value when you trade it. No vehicle appraises higher than a Honda. Next, look for low APRs and deep discounts. You also want low maintenance costs and great fuel economy. That's why my advice to you is to buy a new Honda. Looking pre-owned, visit our Honda Certified Used Car Center. Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard, Liverpool, or HondaCity-CNY.com.
It would be a pity if you don't shop at Honda City.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. Very proud to be here with you every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and feel very blessed to have this opportunity that we have right now, and that is to celebrate a team inside of Central and upstate New York, and that is the Lemoyne College Dolphins women's lacrosse team, and I am very honored, and it's a pleasure. First time that she's been on the show, and this is what we're going to be talking about, which is pretty amazing, and that is the fact that the Lemoyne College Dolphins women's lacrosse team are national champions, and with that being said, it is a privilege, an honor, and a tribute to Central and upstate New York to have Kathy Taylor, the head coach of the women's lacrosse team at Lemoyne, on the show following being 22-1. And with that being said, Kathy, how you doing today?
Great. I'm humbled after that introduction, Dan. I'm happy to be with you. Yeah, we're feeling great this morning. It's, I think we're still coming down a little bit from it. It was a wonderful season that we had.
Yeah, and it's amazing to see what's gone on across Central and upstate New York. Like I said, everybody has a story. Everybody has something to tell. There's things going on at all times, and if you turn your focus here, there's something happening over there and around the corner. And with you, with what you've done at Lemoyne, just speak with me on this, because it's 4 years in. What has been kind of your like what you've gone after, what you've been about when you stepped onto Lemoyne? What was it about for you? What were the pillars and the foundation that you've been working to build over the last few years to get to this point?
Well, I have to start out by saying, Lemoyne College is just a wonderful place with just an exceptional group of people that work there and students that attend. So we had a great product to offer to young lacrosse players that wanted to go to college and get a great education and also chase a championship. And that was really our mantra. Lemoyne College is a great place to get an education and chase a national championship. And when we recruited players, and many of which are located, born and bred right here in upstate New York, central New York, that was what we said. Take a look around. There's a lot of places you can go and play lacrosse, and it's not the right fit academically, or you can go academically, it's not the right fit lacrosse-wise. And we felt like we had a package that was special and unique, and a part of an athletic culture that was supportive. The whole athletic department at Lemoyne is very close. We were amidst Dan Sheehan and his 5 national championships. So we felt like we had a very successful lacrosse program to already speak of, and we were close. So we went after student athletes that were looking for that nice combination, and we knew that the game was changing. It was getting faster. The shot clock was coming in, and so we recruited athletes that could play that type of game. So and also handle the academic rigors of Lemoyne College.
And when you look at, like you said, as the game was changing, you were recruiting that way. What can you say about being on the recruiting front, just what the Lemoyne name did for you and how you feel you were received when you were out there recruiting in these first few years, putting a team together that ultimately won a national championship this year?
Well, so Dan, I'm an upstate, Central New Yorker myself, and spent so many years at the high school game. So my relationships with the high school coaches were strong, and I was down at SUNY Cortland for 6 years, recruiting a similar but different athlete too. And so when I came to Lemoyne, the fact that we were a small private Jesuit college was very powerful and different than down at SUNY Cortland. So, it was, I had a great product, as I said, to have people come be a part of the support we get at Lemoyne from all the staff, all the people that help clear our fields, because, we have to play out in that snow in January and February, and it was a tough winter, tough to anyone who coached outside this winter. It was a tough winter, and but the Central New York athlete is used to playing in that climate, so it felt comfortable for so many of them, and a lot of our stars were local kids that embraced the college game and helped us win a championship.
And like you said, being local to the area and knowing this area and having those relationships built already, just what it does kind of for your heart to know that, this is your home, this is your place. So it's one thing to win a national championship. It's another thing to bring a national championship home. Just what that's meant to you.
Absolutely. I mean, I wanted to do it ever since I've arrived, because I wanted to do it for Lemoyne College and the athletic program, but mostly I wanted to do it for the young women that committed to come to Lemoyne and help us chase it. The parents, the players, it's a very exciting time for them. We've talked about it. We set the bar high this year. We've been close. We've been knocking on the door. We got to kick it in because we got to beat Adelphi to get even out of the region. There's no trip to the Final Four to play Adelphi this year, which we had for the last couple of years. We needed to be able to beat Adelphi in the region and then get to the Final Four. And I felt like if we could take care of our Long Island nemesis, that once we got to the Final Four, we could take care of that stage. Although there are no guarantees. It's just that I thought our biggest battles were probably going to be to get out of our region.
And when we look at this, speaking with Kathy Taylor, the head coach of the Lemoyne College Dolphins women's lacrosse national championship team, the only loss this season, 22-1, is to Adelphi, which happened on April 25th. You saw them in the Northeast 10 Conference Championship and defeated them 14-10, and then saw them right again in the NCAA tournament, and you had an opportunity to go up against them and defeated them 14-11 in that. Just what you could say about the only loss you had this season was to Adelphi, like you said, your Long Island nemesis, to have them back twice on this road to the national championship and win both, just how sweet that was for you.
Well, it was definitely sweet. And when we knew when we went down there to play that first game, it was, I felt like we were taking down a team that could take care of Adelphi, but we were nervous. We had a lot of young a lot of young players playing big positions for us with great talent, but not a lot of college experience. And we were very nervous in the first half when we had the opportunity to actually play them again down there in the NE10 tournament. We were on the road again in the same arena that we were just a week earlier, and we had to figure out a way to win. And I felt like the vibe was very good, and we knew that game was going to be very important to setting us up in the region, because if we took care of the NE10, we would be able to host the regional, and they would have to come to us. And I felt like that was a great opportunity for us to have that game at home. And so taking care of the NE10 championship, doing that for the first time since I've been at Lemoyne, and setting us up to have the home regional was big for us. And then once we had the home regional, we got down in the beginning, but in the second half, I felt like our I thought we were a great second half team this year.
And, Coach, before I let you go, speaking here with Kathy Taylor one more time from Lemoyne College Dolphins Women's Lacrosse National Championship Team, what was it about this unit, how this team had come together, the setup of this year's team, the personnel on the team, the community of this team, the interaction with one another? What made this team the champions that they now are?
Well, it's all that. I always say it's a little bit more art than science, but the science part of it is we had greater depth this year. We had a deeper depth of talent. We brought in some kids that could help us find some goals. Our defense returned, and we have a stingy defense and a strong goalie who's only a sophomore. But I would say that our senior leadership was huge. Our coaching staff, we have outstanding coaching staff, and Nikki Bello and Jackie Helmer. There was, it was our second year together as a coaching staff, and just everything that played into coming together and making it a collective, successful organization. It was the coaches, it was the players, it was the leaders, and it was the young talent that we brought in to give us a deeper bench. And we had a lot of fun. We laughed a lot.
And to talk on your staff really quick here a little bit as well, that's, obviously everybody coming together and doing what needs to be done, doing their jobs, just what you can say about the other people in the room with you helping to lead these young women to this national championship.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the assistant coaches that we have, and the collaboration that we have in our office. Both young women that helped have different roles, and they revolve. But, Jackie Helmer is really kind of our leader of our defense, which was remarkable the last couple of years. And, Nikki Bello is certainly an offensive mind, and a person that just helps in any capacity. But really, when we're on the sidelines together, we're all trying to think about, how are we doing on the draw? How are we doing on the defense? What do we need to do on offense? And it was a lot of fun to coach with them. I have to say, Dan, throughout my coaching career, been blessed with the people that I share an office with. All of them have been outstanding. And I think that our seniors, in Jackie Pardee and Abby McEntee and Kelly Gaffney, and even our graduate student who returned for a fifth year, Nicole Easterly, all very, very big in bringing these young. We had a dozen freshmen bringing our young kids along and empowering them. So it was just a great year, all in all.
That coming from Kathy Taylor at Lemoyne College, national champions. And final for you, Kathy, just what you could say about that final moment on the field this season, that final matchup, that, kind of for all the marbles in that moment against Florida Southern, just what you could tell me about that matchup and just what you took away from the game. Obviously, you got the victory, but just what you can say about the matchup going in, how they looked on film, and ultimately coming out of that with the trophy.
Yeah, Florida Southern is a tremendously talented team, and we knew that. They had a lot of depth, and they really didn't have a weakness. So we knew we were in for a big game against them. They'd also been on the national stage in the final game 3 years in a row and had won a national championship 2 years ago. So, this was familiar ground to them. And they had a different team that they had to play, but familiar ground. For us, we were in uncharted territory with a talented team. So, in the beginning of the game, we were really nervous. First 10 minutes, we did not look like ourselves on really kind of in any area. We weren't winning the draws and are struggling a little on defense and offensively turning the ball over. So I would say that once we got there, we felt like our matchups really were good. Our game plan was solid. We made a few changes on the draw to try and combat some of their wing players. We knew we needed possession against a great team. We didn't want to play defense all game and have to try and have a creative cause turnover to give us an offensive possession. So, but, I think in the end, the credit goes to the players that were on the field that made the plays. They were capable of making the plays that they did, and once we got on a run and scored a few goals, Bree Fazio kind of helped show us the way, along with Sydney Hall out of South Jeff, and Nikki Delaney out of West Genesee has just been so strong for us all year. We had freshmen and Aaron McMullen, and then a really great senior-led defense by Kelly Gaffney. Just started to had some amazing defensive holds, and we just kind of pulled away. And when we went into the locker room and we were up by 4 goals, 6-4 instead of down, we looked around and said we gotta go out there and play better, because this is a defending. They've been here, they won here. They're going to come back, and we went out and we took care of the business, and we even added a goal to our lead.
That coming from Kathy Taylor. Kathy, congratulations on an amazing season, and I look forward to having you back on very soon. And I hope that this crazy schedule that you now have, being a national champion, just brings you, great dividends, a lot of fun. And, maybe they could tell you that the next press conference is going to be in Cancun. Maybe that'd be nice.
Yeah, well, I mean, I will take this whirlwind. I will take the bucket of water, the icy bucket of water that got dumped on me any day, to be able to help these kids win a national championship for their families and for themselves and the school.
Absolutely, and congratulations on what you've done for this community, and God bless. We look forward to talking with you soon.
Thank you so much, Dan. Have a great day.
All right, take care. That coming from Kathy Taylor. One more time, Lemoyne College Dolphins women's lacrosse, folks. They're national champions. And staying with lacrosse, we're going to take a step aside on the show, and we're coming back, as promised today, with the second hour of the show dedicated to the West Genesee Wildcats girls lacrosse team and our special from the Wildcat Sports Pub. The Wildcat Sports Pub, located on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York, right in the Home Depot Plaza. Go out and see them all throughout the week and support them as they support the community so much. So with West Genesee Sports, we feel honored every single month to be there with West Genesee. I've had the opportunity with this idea that I came up with the owner, Danny Tome, over there. I said, let's do something. I want to bring shows here. We talked about bringing high school and having West Genesee right over the hill and putting them in the spotlight, showing them that win, lose, or draw, that these student athletes and these coaches deserve to have that community connection, that feel, that love, and know what it's like to be in the spotlight and be honored for their hard work and determination and perseverance. And with that being said, I'm very happy that we've had the boys ice hockey team, we have had the football team, we've had girls and boys basketball, and girls and boys lacrosse. You are going to hear from the lacrosse team coming up in just a moment after this fast break. Emma Perry is going to be on the show, Eliza McCall, as well as Adriana Nojame and head coach Kevin Hennigan from our special at the Wildcat Sports Pub. West Genesee, front and center, girls lacrosse, right after this.
This is a wake-up call, fast break.
For all of us that have always wanted our favorite restaurant to come to us, it's now a reality in Central New York with It's a Utica Thing, with Utica Pizza Company bringing their wonderful recipes that they've handed down through generations to you, to your event, to your business, to your home. It's a Utica Thing, proudly bringing Utica Pizza Company on wheels to your location. Call 315-738-8946. That's 315-738-8946 to bring Utica Pizza Company to your doorstep with It's a Utica Thing.
Gear up with the real deal at Dry Sig Apparel, creating what people are going to see and learn about you before they even meet you. Gear up for what you need for your team, business, or event. To look professional, look good, and feel good, outfit yourself at DrySigApparel.com. That's DREISSIG Apparel.com. The only place to gear up with the real deal.
The name Leeson Staggerwald has become synonymous with Central New York over the years. And that's why Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is proud to have our live pregame show before Syracuse Orange men's basketball home games right on site, on location, on 117 East Fayette Street in Syracuse, New York, minutes from the Carrier Dome. To see myself and Syracuse Orange men's basketball alum Dale Shackelford 2 hours before tip-off of Syracuse basketball home games. We can't wait to see you out at Lee's and Staggerwald. Thank you to everybody that's already come and seen us. For great food, community, and great drinks, come to Lee's and Staggerwald and be there 2 hours before tip-off for Syracuse Orange men's basketball home games for our live pregame show with Dale Shackelford and myself, Dan Tortora. Utica Pizza Company spells family. Your family, my family, their family. The recipes that they have shared with each other throughout the years and have now been so gracious to share them with us. I can sit here and talk with you about all the great things that are on the menu. We'd be here forever. So let me say this. Utica Pizza Company is second to none. And now you can bring it home with you and you can dine in the restaurant. UticaPizzaCompany.com will give you all the information that you need. And let me say, these Utica greens, they're the best. Utica Pizza Company. Call them and place your order at 315-214-3060. That's 315-214-3060. Families break bread at Utica Pizza Company.
We are here with the West Genesee Girls Lacrosse team, the #1 seeded West Genesee Girls Lacrosse team. Got to mention that. I'm Dan Tortora. We're here every single month. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is proud to be working with the Wildcat Sports Pub, Danny and Heather Tome and the whole team. And we are here every single month with West Genesee. We've had boys ice hockey as well as football, boys and girls basketball, boys lacrosse, and now girls lacrosse. I'm joined by head coach Kevin Hennigan, as well as Eliza McCall, Adriana Nojame, and Emma Perry. Please give them all a round of applause. So this is how the show is going to go. We're going to start this first segment about lacrosse. We'll take a little break for a couple minutes. The second segment's called Rapid Fire, where each of these four will be put on the hot seat by me and have to answer any question that I ask. In fairness, the third segment, I become the interviewee and I have to sit here and get roasted by you guys. So I think that's only fair. So we're going to get started first and foremost here with Coach. 3 seasons with the team so far, this being your third. Just what you could say about what you've taken from 2016 up to now.
What I've realized is that it's important that we're able to come together tight as a group. My first year doing it, I got involved maybe a month or two before the season started, and the team really embraced me, and I saw how important those relationships were. And one thing I can say about this team this year is they've done an excellent job of building those relationships, of making sure that the team is first. I know they do a lot of things together off the field, and I think that translates on the field. So we've definitely made that a priority for us in the program.
And Emma, I want to ask you this. What are some of the things you do off the field as a team that you feel brought you closer together?
Literally anything you can think of. Like, we'll go to the mall together, to a bunch of different games together. We're constantly going out to eat, and every day someone will just text in the group message, anybody want to go do this with me, and we're just always together and bonding with each other.
What is your favorite thing to do with these girls?
Yeah, sleepovers.
Okay. Whose house? Is there one house that's...
house.
Who is it?
Maddie Smith.
Maddie Smith, okay. Okay. Why her house?
I don't know. I guess if there's room for all of us, and we're all trapped in the basement together, and we do a lot of weird dance-offs and stuff, so it's fun.
Nice. Who's cooking over at the house?
Jen Smith, of course.
All right. What?
Oh, yeah.
Wildcat Pizza? All right.
I guess that a nice plug there for that. Is there any homemade stuff that you like over at the Smith House?
Yes, well, everyone usually brings some different things, and Phoebe's cookies are always a big hit.
All right, fair enough. Eliza, I'll go over to you for this. What is it about this year's team that's made this unit so special?
I think this year, I think we're not like separated. Everyone I'm equally close with, and we all get along really well. And I say that also transfers on the field, like Coach said, just because we're together a lot. That you can tell that we spend a lot of time together.
What is your favorite thing to do with the team?
Probably the sleepovers.
Okay. So sleepovers win. Yeah. Who wins the dance-off?
Elise.
Where's Elise? All right. All right. I like the casual kind of half hand there. So, does she win it every time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, fair enough. Have you ever put Coach in that type of situation to be in a dance-off?
No.
We should, though, right?
We should do that. Yeah, we should do that.
We should. All right, Adriana, what can you say about this year's team and what's special about this number 1 seeded team going into the postseason?
I think, like everyone said, so far we're all really close. There's not really any segregation on the team. Everyone in every grade is close. We have a lot of freshmen on the team that hang out with seniors, a lot of seniors who hang out with sophomores, and that's something I've never experienced before, and it's really cool that we're all so close.
What brought the team close? Like you said, there's no segregation. What happens to bring this team all together?
Well, we spent a lot of time together in the off season, so we all got to know each other pretty well going into the season. And then as we spend a lot of time together in season with long practices and having only Sunday away from each other, I guess just spending so much time together, we've all gotten very close.
Now, I want to stay with you, Adriana, about Coach. Give me 3 words to describe Coach.
Ecstatic, happy, cheerful.
Fair enough. All right, Eliza, what about you? Three words to describe Coach.
I'm trying to say responsible. He's very honest, and I'm gonna go with ecstatic too. He's a very happy man.
All right, very happy man. Well, we'll come back to you, Coach, on that in a second. All right, Emma, what can you say? 3 words to describe Coach.
Energetic, a little weird, and caring.
And caring. All right, Coach, you've heard what they had to say. So we're going to go around the table, starting with Emma, over to Adriana and Eliza. I want to know 3 things about each of these young ladies.
All right, starting with Emma. Emma is mature, and she is definitely a leader. I've had to rely on Emma a lot. I switched from coaching offense to defense this year, and we have a lot of seniors. They've been helpful, and I'll come to them with questions. And so she's absolutely a leader, and she's also vocal. She's willing to speak up and share what's on her mind. Adriana. Adriana is thoughtful, unselfish, and somebody who's caring. That's how I describe Adriana as well. I think she's somebody who puts the team first with what she's doing, and a lot of the stuff they shared about where the team is right now, seniors like Adriana are helping to do that. And Eliza, Eliza is competitive. She's fast, very fast, and feisty. I think Eliza can be a little feisty in a good way. I like it that she's on our team.
All right, fair enough. So when we look at your step into this postseason, this opportunity that you have, looking at the first couple seasons, what has it taught you? I know that you were at West Genesee. I know what it's like for you to win a championship. You've been able to feel that a couple times. What's special about this year's team, and what did you take from the last couple of years to create what you have here today?
What I've learned from the first couple of years is that, like, our game Thursday night is going to be a battle. You make it to the Final Four of the Class A in this section, you have 4 teams that could compete to win a state championship if they make it out of this section, and we've learned that the hard way the last couple of years, how good all the other teams are. So we try to build a schedule that challenges our team, so we go through ups and downs in individual games and have to learn how to take a punch and give one back. And that's what our team has done this year. They've been able to take punches from really good teams and respond. Whether we get up or get down, they know just to keep playing. Because on Thursday night, that will happen. You'll get up a few goals, you'll get down a few goals, and you just have to be willing to keep playing.
Adriana, what can you say when you look at how this season's gone? You started off on a 5-game winning streak, recently had another 5-game winning streak. What have you taken away from this regular season?
Well, it's a whole new season starting now. Going into playoffs, it doesn't matter the previous record. We know it's really open-ended and we're surrounded by great competition. And as Coach said after our loss to FM last Tuesday, we only need 5 more games after we had a loss. We went on a 5-game winning streak, and that's all we need right now.
Eliza, you know what a 5-game winning streak feels like. You got to go on a 5-game winning streak like Adriana just said. What about this team do you feel makes this Wildcat team poised for that 5-game winning streak?
I think we don't dwell on a win. We know that the next game coming up is just going to be another battle, and we just move on to the next one, and we don't get big-headed, and we just move on to the next.
And Emma, just what you could say, what you've taken away up to this point. Adriana said it's a new season. Whatever you've done up to here, you've now started essentially 0-0. Bring me into what's to come Thursday night, and from there.
Well, I think no matter what our wins or losses were for the previous season of whoever we play, it's going to be an important game, and it can go either way, and it's going to be a tough one, and it doesn't matter how much we accomplish in the regular season. Anybody wins in sectionals, and there's upsets all the time, so it's going to be a battle.
West Genesee history. We know that Coach Hennigan knows what it's like to win a couple times here. What can you say about his leadership on this team and what he brings in that championship mentality?
I think he definitely brings energy to our team, and he makes every win feel a lot better, and he doesn't praise us for it, but he makes us feel good about it and knows that we deserved it. And whenever we lose or something bad happens this season, he doesn't dwell on it, and he doesn't bring us down for it. Like, we move on, we learn from it, and it's definitely good lessons to learn.
Eliza, looking at this season, what's one moment of adversity that you can look back to that can help you moving forward?
I think any of our losses that we've had this season, you make mistakes and you learn from them and you move on, and then when they happen again, you know the right moves to make and you're able to succeed.
Adriana, we've heard that Coach is an ecstatic person. Go a little bit deeper into why we've used that word.
Well, one of his famous quotes is, "Every day is going to be a big day," and that's how we go into every practice and every game. He's always cheering for us on the sidelines. He's very vocal, and it's always in a positive way.
The community is something that I've gotten to see a lot since working here with the Wildcat Sports Pub, and I'm speaking on the West Genesee community, the Wildcat community. Eliza, what can you say about the Wildcat community and the amount of support that you have as a team?
I think our parents are very supportive of us. They do the most for our team. They make everything really special, so thank you.
I think we should clap. I don't let that go.
Especially like our senior night, they do just the most for all of us, and it's always a good thing for us to have someone support us that much.
Adriana, what can you say about the level of support you have with the Wildcats?
Our parents go above and beyond. They're very extra, so to speak. Our boys lacrosse team also is amazing. You see them at the sidelines of our games being so vocal, cheering for us. And it's just a fun atmosphere at the games with all the fans, our classmates, our family members, people in the community.
Emma, what can you say about the support? You're on the side where the rest of the team is surrounding you here in that U shape. So what can you say about not only the support of the community, but the team as a whole, just what it feels like to be a Wildcat?
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's like you have a second family, and you know that every single one of these girls are going to be here for you no matter what. And it's like we're just a group of sisters, and no matter what happens, we're together and we're close, and we're just always there for each other.
Coach, you know this guy, Mike Masser, right? You're pretty comfortable with him. Some people in the community might know him. Bring me into this final run for him and what it's like to be coaching this team and at the same time have him on the other side, but no, it's kind of bittersweet.
It's surreal almost to think that this is the last year for Coach Masser and for Coach Deegan. They've been doing it for so long. when I was growing up, I wanted to play for Coach Masseri and Coach Deegan. Like I remember in 6th grade being pulled aside by Coach Deegan. That was like made my day. During the summer, I worked with him, or Coach Masseri would be around the summer camp. And it's weird to think that that's not going to be the case anymore, because that's who I have pictured that West Genesee Lacrosse was. They've both been very helpful to me as I got started coaching. Anytime I wanted to talk to them about something we wanted to do, Coach Deegan will watch our practice for 5 minutes and be like, hey, I saw your goalie do this. Tell her to not do that. Or Coach Masseri, same kind of thing. They'll watch our practice for a few seconds and they know so much about the game, they'll just offer a little bit of advice that is usually spot on. And it is bittersweet. Hopefully everything works out and they can end on top. But I think regardless of how this season plays out for them, what they have done, it's just incredible.
And with that being said, I got to break for a second. Let's give a round of applause to Coach Masseri. He was sitting in with us in March. He was here with the team, and we appreciated his time as well. I'm going to go around. There's going to be one final question about lacrosse, and then it's going to be rapid fire after we take a break here. So the hot seat is coming. Coach, what does it mean to be a Wildcat?
I think to be a Wildcat means you're willing to compete. You're willing to have people come at you every single time because of what's happened in the past. You understand how people look at this program, both on the boys and girls side. And so if you're a Wildcat, you're ready to compete, take everybody's best shot.
Emma, what does it mean to you to be a Wildcat?
It definitely means to come ready to the game. Like, our whole entire program has such a legacy and a past that's so impressive than any other. And you definitely want to please, like, all that's come before you, and you really want to just fight hard and know that you're supporting your team and you're playing for the name on your jersey.
Do you like the legacy connection to it in the sense of what that might put on the shoulders of a player? Are you okay having that?
Definitely. I think it pushes us all way more to fight harder and know what we can accomplish and what so many others have accomplished before us. It's possible and it's there for us.
All right, Adriana, what does it mean for you to be a Wildcat?
Obviously, there's a huge tradition with lacrosse at West Genesee. We all start at a very young age with the summer program, and we put in numerous hours in the off-season and during the season just to live up to the legacy of West Genesee that both the boys and girls have for the name.
Eliza, same for you.
I think by putting in a lot of work, you have to be a hard worker, especially like what Adriana said in the off season, and especially in season. We're expected to do a lot of things. You have to be a good athlete, but you also have to be a great student, and that's just how it all works out in the end.
That coming from Eliza McCall, Adriana Nojame, Coach Kevin Hennigan, as well as Emma Perry, myself, Dan Tortora. We will take a couple minutes aside here. I'll get ready to put each of you on the hot seat, and then in a little bit, you'll do the same to me. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it very much.
This is a wake-up call, fast break.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. All right, welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, live on location at the Wildcat Sports Pub, featuring West Genesee's Girls Lacrosse program. Emma Perry, Eliza McCall, Adriana Nojame, and head coach Kevin Hennigan. Myself, Dan Tortora. It's one of my favorite parts of the show. I get to put you all in the hot seat for rapid fire. Adriana, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
So, if anybody could play you in a movie, give me the person that would be you, and give me the name of the movie.
Okay. Well, I really like Captain Jack Sparrow from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
Because I recently just saw it, and I had a weird dream about it. So.
The first one?
Yeah, the first one.
Oh, okay. There's 5. You got to catch up now.
Yeah, I know. I'm behind.
So you got Captain Jack Sparrow. Okay, so what's going on with this?
I don't know. I just think he's really cool. I really like the hat he wears.
Okay.
I'd be...
So is he going to play you in the movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. What's the movie going to be? Pirate 6?
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be a good one.
All right, fair enough. So Johnny Depp will be playing Adriana Nojam.
Yes.
Okay. All right, fair enough. All right, Emma. One song that you can put as your intro when you come out onto the field for a year, what would it be?
Probably Fight Song, but I forgot who sings that.
All right, Fight Song. Eliza. It's a 3-part question.
Oh no, okay.
You could go anywhere in the world. Where do you go? You could take one person that you know and one celebrity.
Oh, that's an easy one.
Okay.
I would go to Bora Bora.
Okay.
I'd bring my mom.
All right.
And a celebrity, I'd bring Beyonce.
All right. So I got to ask, why mom and Beyonce?
Because my mom, I just know that she likes the beach, and I love the beach, and I'd want to experience that with her. And then Beyonce, because everyone knows that I'm obsessed with her.
Okay.
So I just want to be in her presence.
Who's the bigger boss, Beyonce or your mom?
Beyonce.
All right. Is mom here? Mom in the building?
No, she's not here.
Oh, okay. So that's why you felt somewhat comfortable saying
Yeah,
that.
probably.
All right. Fair enough. Coach, besides Jack Sparrow, who would play you in a movie, and what would the movie be called?
I've heard comparisons to Ed Helms before from The Office, so maybe Ed Helms. He's a funny guy, energetic, I think, too. People have said that before. The movie, Every Day is a Big Day. That'd be the name of the movie. Yep.
All right, Emma. If you could own any pet, it could be any animal, anything, what would it be? Besides, like, the typical, if you could own anything that's not a typical pet, what would you own?
Probably a dolphin.
A dolphin? All right, why a dolphin?
Well, when I was little, I had a weird obsession with dolphins. I used to just decorate everything with them and have anything you can imagine dolphin themed, so I still love them.
All right, a dolphin. Eliza, what is your spirit animal if you had to choose one?
A spirit animal. I don't know. Okay, an animal.
Favorite animal?
I guess. I don't know. That's a hard question. Yeah, I guess just a wildcat. Yeah.
All right.
That's good.
Fair enough. Some help from the crowd.
Yeah,
I like
thank
that. All right, Adriana.
Okay.
What's one song that you can't stand so much to the point where it makes you want to take a hammer to the radio?
Well, my teammates are going to be mad at me, but I got really sick of Bodak Yellow by Cardi B.
All right, fair enough. Okay. All right. Emma, who is the funniest person on the team?
Elise McAvally.
All right. Eliza, who is the best cook on the team?
Phoebe.
Phoebe?
Well, she bakes. I've never tried her cooking, though.
Okay. What does she bake? What's your
Her
favorite?
cookies are amazing.
Cookies?
Yes.
All right, better than Phoebe's?
No, Phoebe's cookies are the best.
Phoebe's cookies are the best?
Yeah.
Better than Phoebe?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. All right, Adriana. 3 things on your bucket list that you have to do.
Okay. I really want to go skydiving. I want to travel to Greece. And, the bucket list, let's see. I want to do, I don't know what the movie is, 400 Feet Under or something, where you go in the shark tank way underwater and you're trapped in that
The one that just came out recently?
Like a year ago, I think.
Yeah, 40 feet or something like that. 40 meters down.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah, I want to do that.
Yeah, it's a good movie though. All right, Coach. I want to stick with the bucket list. I like this. Give me 3 things on your bucket list.
I would like to learn to play the piano. A couple things I want to learn to do. I like to learn to play the piano. I like to learn to golf. I can't do that. I tried skiing. That went terrible. I'd like to try to ski. My kids are learning. My wife knows how to ski, so I would like to do that. And bring the family down to Disney World and Harry Potter World pretty soon. I put that on the bucket list.
I'm bringing my wife to Disney World on Thursday. You're welcome to join if you need to. All right, Emma, 3 things on your bucket list.
Probably, I would like to ride an elephant. I want to go to Hawaii, and then I also would like to go skydiving.
All right, fair enough. All right, Eliza, what are your 3?
I'd really like to go to Bora Bora. Like I said earlier, I've always wanted to go there.
Okay.
I've always wanted to ride a horse on the beach before. Never had the opportunity to do that. Then I really do like Disney, so I'd like the opportunity to go there again.
Did you go there? When was the last time?
I went to Universal Studios, but I'd like to go to the other one.
So you want to go to Walt Disney World itself?
Yes.
What is your favorite Universal Studios ride?
I don't have one in particular. I like them all, really.
You like them all?
Yeah, they were all fun.
All right, fair enough. All right, Adriana. Do you like thrill rides?
Yes.
Okay, what's your favorite?
Well, at Universal, I really liked the Hulk ride. That was pretty scary.
Okay. Do you have second favorites of that?
I liked the Harry Potter ride at Universal because I'm obsessed with Harry Potter.
Okay, so Harry Potter versus the Hulk, those 2 roller coasters, which one?
Probably Harry Potter because they have butterbeer there.
That's very true, they do have butterbeer. It's a great place. All right, Emma, are you a ride person or no?
Definitely.
All right, give me your favorite.
Probably the Superman at Darien Lake.
All right, Superman at Darien Lake. Have you gone recently?
Yeah, we just went Friday.
Oh, okay. Is it the same as it's been over the years? Have they done any changes, or is it the same?
No, I think it's the same.
Pretty much the same? Yeah. Do you sit in the front? I've sat in the front. Have you been in the front?
No, I'm not that
okay. You need to sit in the front like I did when they stopped the ride that had broken down 3 times. And you're in the front and there's no protection in the front. There's nobody in front of you, nothing. And the lady, it's the only time I've ever seen, the stairs? Yeah. Lady walked up the stairs. She came over and she was on the walkie-talkie with the guy and she was like, "All right, Roger." And Roger's like, and that went on for about 15 minutes. And then she went, she's like, "Roger, what are we going to do?" He's like, and she was like, "All right, we're good to go." And I looked at her and we started to roll up a little bit. And I said, "Ma'am, aren't you supposed to do the test ride?" And I quote, she said, "You are." So, thank you, Darien Lake. I'm still here to talk about it. All right, Coach, do you like rides? Are you a ride person? All right, give me your favorite.
My favorite ride, what's the one that you go up in the hotel and then it drops you down? Tower of Terror, I think, is awesome. And then the rock and roll, the Aerosmith ride. That you just take off right away. That thing's sweet, too. All right.
We got some thrill ride people. So, some people, that's conquering a fear. Tower of Terror is conquering a fear for some. So, Emma, give me one fear that you've conquered in your life. I'm hearing some people off my shoulder here. Was it stink bugs? Is it? All right. Okay. Yeah. We're going to have to ask, is that the one?
Yes, my fear of stink bugs.
Okay. How did you overcome your fear of stink bugs?
Well, my fear actually began this year when I woke up one morning and accidentally drank one from my water bottle.
Nice.
So I spit it out, and I was traumatized for a couple of weeks, but last week I actually killed one. So, progress.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very proud of you. How did you kill it? Because if you hit it, doesn't it leave a nice stench there? So how'd you kill it?
Well, I was kind of like 2 feet away and I threw a shoe at it. So.
All right. Hand-eye coordination, though. You got it done. All All right, Adriana, give me a fear that you've overcome.
Well, it's kind of weird because I like those thriller rides, but I don't like heights. So I'm definitely afraid of Ferris wheels and just like getting stuck up there. So 2 years ago at the fair, I went on the Ferris wheel for the first time, and I wouldn't do it again.
That is a very high Ferris wheel, and it looks like it kind of leans a little.
It does.
Yeah.
It shakes in the wind.
I always get that feeling like, is this the year that it just... So, yeah. I'm not a fair ride person. All right. Okay, Eliza. Give me a fear you've overcome.
I don't like spiders, but I will kill them if I have to.
Okay.
If I have to.
Are we talking big? Have you killed a big one before?
No, but
tiny?
I won't ever do that. If they're small enough, I can manage to do it, but if they're big, I will not go near it.
Okay. I had one that I tried to... Did you try to let them outside?
No, I run away.
See, I tried to guide one outside when I was living in Florida. It was in my apartment. It was black. It was probably about this big. And it turned and looked at me, and I tried to fling it, and then I looked at him, and he looked at me, and I said to him, as if he could hear me, I said, don't do this to yourself. Don't make this decision. And he turned around, and he beelined right at me, and I was like, well, this is your funeral, and I had to kill him that day. That was the day. I tried, you know what? I tried to give him life. All right, Coach, give me a fear that you've overcome.
I'm incredibly afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid to admit that. So when I'm able to walk through a room in my house without turning a light on, like I honestly feel a sense of accomplishment. When I walk through the house, I turn on a light as I go up and down the stairs or in every room. So sometimes I'll challenge myself and walk down the stairs through the kitchen without turning on a light, and I'm very proud of myself for doing that.
I'll give Coach a round of applause for that. The dark. Now, do you do what I used to do this at my grandma's house, where you hear a noise and you run into the hallway and you try to flick the light on really quick as if that'll stop whatever's there from engaging you? Have you done that? Have you done the run and flick the light on?
The kids like the hallway light on at night, so that does help me. I don't fight them on that. I let that go. The other night, though, laying in bed, we heard a door creak, and it was like, I don't know if I want to go check. Like I was hoping it was the wind, and I laid there for a little bit. My wife didn't offer to get up and go check it, so I did. But that kind of stuff freaks me out.
Yeah, my wife, we're Kevin Hart fans. You guys like Kevin Hart? Yeah. Kevin Hart. So now, Kevin Hart talks about how his daughter used to freak him out by hiding behind doors after they watch a scary movie, pushing it a little, and then jumping out. Well, he told the story how he ran out of the house and got in his car, kind of like jumped over the steps, got in the car, backed halfway out of the driveway and realized he left his family in the house. To which my wife said, you would also do that. To which I said, it depends on the noise. But there's a good chance that I would run. I would want to get her, but it's one of those things like the dark where if you can't see what's making noise, if you're not in the house, maybe you're meant to be outside. Maybe that's the case. Now everybody thinks I'm a terrible person. All right, Emma. Give me a scary movie that you would never watch again.
Oh my, Insidious.
Insidious. Okay, I won't watch that movie.
I couldn't sleep for like 2 weeks straight, and I just kept imagining that scary nun was just in my room. I couldn't.
All right.
Terrified.
Eliza, what about you? A scary movie you will never watch again.
I think it was called The Conjuring, if I'm remembering.
I won't watch that one either.
I would not ever see that.
You guys are putting like my top 3 right now. All right, Adriana, what's one that you will not watch?
The Shining.
I did see The Shining. Okay, that one I can roll with because Jack Nicholson. I don't know why. All right, Coach, what can't you watch?
I don't really watch scary movies at all. I'm afraid when I watch a scary movie that it's going to happen to me, no matter how unrealistic it is. When Scream came out, I think I was in 7th or 8th grade. That's when your parents start letting you stay at home and stuff like that. So that sticks to me. Scream 1. It brings back bad memories.
I think you and I were separated at birth in that respect. All right, Eliza, this is going to be your final question for each of you. So, Eliza, if I could put you on any TV show, reality show, any drama, comedy, anything, if I could give you a job and say, I'll put you on the show today, what show would it be? And it could be a show that's already off the air if you want.
I really liked the show Survivor, just because I'd like to see what I'd be able to do if I could survive.
Fair enough. I like that. Give a round of applause for that. That's a good answer. Survivor, because that is not an easy task. All right, Adriana.
Probably Friends or Keeping Up with the Kardashians, because I want to see how I'd fit into that family.
All right. Well, I will say anybody that's not already a Kardashian, normally their career ends after that, so probably don't do that. You could talk to Reggie Bush, Kanye, he's having a rough go at it right now, Lamar Odom, Tristan Thompson. So maybe we're going to have to put you on. What was the first one again?
Friends.
Yeah, we're going to put you on Friends. All right, Emma, what TV show would you go on?
I think I really belong in New Girl.
Oh, okay. Now, Fox has been blocked by Spectrum for everybody that has Spectrum. So have you been able to keep up with New Girl? I think it's on Hulu, too.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
And on Netflix. So why New Girl? One of my favorite shows, that's why I'm asking.
Well, I think I'm weird enough to be part of like the gang.
Okay. So you live in the house with everybody?
Yeah, in the loft, definitely.
All right, fair enough. Okay. All right, Coach. I'm going to put you in a TV show. Besides the Jersey Shore, which I know is your favorite, what show would you want to be in?
The Office, absolutely. Yep. If I could hang out with Michael Scott, that would be incredible. Though, whenever I watch that show, I just wish that I could work in a place that had Michael Scott in it. So without a doubt, it would be The Office.
Fair enough. All right, you are all off the hot seat. Give them a round of applause for getting off the hot seat, okay? Emma Perry, Eliza McCall, Adriana Nojame, and Coach Kevin Hennigan will put me on the hot seat in just a couple minutes. So get your questions ready. I have to answer them. This is Wake Up Call from the Wildcat. Thanks for being here.
This is a wake-up call, fast break.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant. All right, we're back here. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, live on location at the Wildcat Sports Pub with the West Genesee Wildcats Girls Lacrosse team with Emma Perry, Eliza McCall, Adriana Nojame, and Coach Kevin Hennigan. Myself, Dan Tortora. Wake Up Call airs live Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern, right on wakeupcalldt.com. And now, I can't say against my will because I said I'd do this, I am on the hot seat. So, Eliza, you're first. What do you got for me?
If you had the opportunity to travel anywhere, where would it be, and who would you bring, and why?
Okay. I would bring my wife, and I'd want to bring my parents because we would go to Italy and Spain. I am Italian and Spanish, so that's why. And my uncle is in Italy right now, and he's been to Rome. Our family's from Calabria and Naples. Some of them moved to Rome. So, and I found out that in Calabria they make pizza with honey, and I'm all about that. So, yeah, I would definitely go to Italy and Spain, and I'd bring the wife, and I will do it before I leave this earth. I have to.
That's great. I like that.
Thank you. She approves. All right, Emma, what do you have for me?
If you could be any animal, what would it be?
A jaguar or a dog? A jaguar because I have a lot of love and respect for the team, and they're fast. I would be a dog because I've had dogs my whole life, and there's nothing sweeter or more caring than a dog. And I got a little monster back. She's one. Her name's Lily, and she sits on my shoulder like a parrot. So I think Adriana would be all for that because she likes Jack Sparrow. So we'd have to bring her next time. All right, Adriana, what do you got for me?
Who is your celebrity crush?
I always get asked this question. I love my wife. I She knows these two. I was growing up. Jennifer Aniston and Tyra Banks growing up. So there you go. She knows that I would say that. All right, Coach, what do you got for me?
You're a Toronto Raptors fan. So Dwayne Casey should he have been fired?
Well, firing somebody who's up for Coach of the Year is interesting. Congratulating him on being a finalist for Coach of the Year after you fire him is more interesting. And I don't know who they're going to get. Becky Hammond's trying to be the first female coach in the NBA. I like her to get a shot. I like Jerry Stackhouse, so him too. But, yeah, I don't understand it. Not many people can get through LeBron James, and that's the only thing that Toronto hasn't done so far. So I don't fault Dwayne Casey for that. R.I.P. Toronto Raptors this year. All right, Emma, what do you got?
What's the most embarrassing thing you've ever worn?
Oh, this is easy. Shout out to my aunt who bought me a girl's sweater. So she bought me a purple sweater that was white polka dots and white cuffs. I wore it twice to church with my winter jacket on, and I threw it in the garbage after that. So my dad told me, like, I think it was like the rule with family is wear it once. So I wore it twice. All right, Adriana, what do you have for me?
Favorite college memory?
Hosting my first ever show, which is MU Courtside, and I created a NCAA men's and women's basketball show, simulcast on TV and radio, and I got asked to come back and be the keynote speaker 13 years after making the show. So I would say MU Courtside. Thank you. Marywood University, 2 hours away. If you have not selected your college, go there. All right, Eliza, what do you have for me?
If you could choose to be any Marvel character, which one would you choose?
Oh, I love this. I got two, and one of the DVDs I picked up today. I would be the Black Panther, which is the nickname of my car, and, wait for it, because my car is black with, like, chrome trim in the front, and I have the Black Panther on my keys. So, I am committed. Or Spider-Man, because I've been a Spider-Man fan since I was like 3 years old, 5 years old. One of those two. All right, Coach, what you got?
What's something you've regretted saying on the radio?
All right. Well, I don't think I live with any regrets. But this was funny. Maybe some people would regret this. I didn't. So for the people, I mean, this is a family show, but it was funny, and I meant it in good laughter, so just roll with me on this. Okay, I got to preface it. It's a food-related thing. But my friend Brandon was in the like studio, so to speak, of MU Courtside, and it was our first year, and they told me that I was on commercial break. We were on halftime on the radio and on TV. There was about 10,000 people on the radio, 10,000 people on TV. So I said something to Brandon as a joke, because I consider him a brother, and I said, Brandon, how about you be the macaroni and I be the cheese, so I can spread myself all over you, as a joke. And he, because we've been family, I mean, and if you knew Brandon, you would know that he laughed. Well, they went 15 minutes with nothing to me in my earpiece, and then we came back, we're 2 minutes into the show, and I'm live by myself, and I got the headphones in, and Brandon goes, Dan, and it's while I'm calling the game, so I'm like, Smith passes the ball to Stevenson, and I'm hearing him in my ear. He goes, don't do anything on the radio. I just have to tell you this. And I'm like, okay, go ahead. And I'm trying to do it side of my voice so people can't hear me on the radio. He said, when we told you that we went on commercial on TV and radio, we only went on commercial on television. So you just told 10,000 people that you and I should be a little bit closer than we are. I don't regret it because I thought it was hilarious. So I'm good with it. And I got to be the broadcaster the next 3 years. So obviously I think it was okay. All right, Adriana, what do you have for me?
If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
Oh boy. I would always say flight, because I love angels and kind of, and I feel a connection. I believe in God, so there's a lot to that. And I would say teleportation, so I could go anywhere. But with the new movie Infinity War coming out, I'd like to have that gauntlet so I could go back in time and spend more time with my grandfathers who passed away when I was 6. That's what I would say. All right, Eliza. Yeah.
Oh, if you won the lottery today, what is the first thing you would go and buy?
First thing I want to buy. I would make sure that my wife and I are set up and that we put some money away for kids. And then I would buy my mom the house she always wanted in Florida. So I do that for Mom. You got to take care of Mom, right? There's a lot of moms here today. Mom and Dad. I understand if I have kids, I want them to say that I'm their favorite, but you know. All right, Emma, what do you have for me?
What's an embarrassing nickname you've had and why?
Well, a lot of people think that they're intelligent when they take my last name, Tortora, and they say Tortora, like the Japanese call, or tortoise, or tortuga, or tortilla. The last guy that told me that, I'm 32, so I was probably 30, 29, and the guy was in his like 30s, 40s, and he's like, Tortora like Tortuga? That's hilarious. And I was like, oh my God, write it down. I was like, I have never once heard this in my life. I think you're a genius, and I'm a broadcaster. I would love to have you be a part of my show as an analyst because the color commentary is impeccable. He didn't know whether I was serious or kidding because he was that dumb, but I would say those are probably the nicknames I get. They're not embarrassing. I just think that people think they're the first one to do it, which is interesting. All right, Coach. You got 3 more, including this one. Everybody else has 2 because they've already asked their third. What do you got?
Is Blake Bortles the long-time answer for the Jags? They just signed an extension, I think, something like that. Now, you're a Jacksonville Jags guy. They're lost right now. They don't know what I'm talking about, but Blake Bortles, is he the guy?
Well, Blake Bortles is from Phoenix, New York. So we love him in upstate New York. The other thing about Blake Bortles is that all of the woes of the Jaguars have not been on him. They had to get a good offensive line. They've worked to do that. They needed a running back. They did that. Receivers, they did that. Defense, they did that. No matter what people think of Doug Marrone, he does have a good system with Nate Hackett, so they're doing that. Tom Coughlin, I love the guy. So I think that Blake fits what they're doing because they're a run-heavy, good defense, and I think he's got a better arm than people give him credit for. And he was 4 points away from going to the Super Bowl with a tear in his right wrist for over a year, and everybody was talking about Tom Brady's little thumb injury. So we'll talk about real men's sports. We'll talk about Blake Bortles and not Tommy. All right, Eliza, what do you got for me?
If you were able to travel back in time, what time period would you go to?
Oh, wow. I could travel back in time. What time? I would go back to the dinosaurs.
Wouldn't you be scared?
I would not, because my goal is to befriend a velociraptor when it's a baby, like in Jurassic World, and then get to ride on it. So when somebody back in time picked a fight with me and my tribe, I could roll up on a velociraptor and we could all know who's going to win that fight. So I would say dinosaurs. I don't know. I like dinosaurs. It would be thrilling. So I think Coach would be afraid of the dark back then. All right, Emma, what do you have?
Would you rather drink Pepsi or Coke?
Coke Zero. I like Coke Zero, so I'm going to say Coke Zero. All right, Adriana.
If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Pizza. Thank you. All right, Coach, you have 2 more. What do you got for me?
Your dream interview.
My dream interview? Wow. Well, I've met and spoken with Bob Costas. I've had Chris Berman and we didn't do an interview, but we're actually in Jacksonville together. So I would say Stuart Scott, even though he's passed away, he was, when I was 10 years old, kind of decided I wanted to be a broadcaster. He has no idea that he was one of the greatest influences on my life. I actually did a tribute show to him after he passed away, and I never met him. So that and Ernie Davis. I'd say that. All right, Adriana, what's your final question for me?
Who is your favorite athlete, either college or professional?
Oh, boy. Currently?
Yes.
Oh, boy. My favorite athlete. This is tough. This is very tough. I got to figure out. What sport I want to pick? I don't know. I like Steph Curry a lot because he can shoot from everywhere.
No.
I'm sorry.
Not a Warriors fan.
Oh, that's okay. You don't have to be a Warriors fan. I liked him at Davidson. So, but I don't know. I like the SU guys. I get to know them, so they're all kind of my favorites, So I would say that from Roosevelt Bowie all the way to Tyus Battle. I like the guys here. I support them. So I would say they're my favorites because I get to know them the most. All right, Eliza, what's your final question?
Along with the college memory, what is your favorite high school memory that you have?
My favorite high school memory? I talked about it today. I was talking to my buddy because we both went to the same school, but I was ahead of him. We did like class, I don't know if you guys do this, but they have like the class votes for most likely to whatever and most this and most that. Well, there was a girl and a guy for both. And my class had most likely to succeed, and my teacher read off my name, and it was a unanimous vote. Nobody voted for anybody else. And my class and I weren't really that close, so I was more surprised than anything. But it was kind of nice to know that I imparted something positive on people that I didn't really feel that close with. And it made me kind of just tell myself you never really know or can judge a book by its cover. I didn't know what they were thinking of me, and obviously it was positive, so that's good. All right, Emma, what do you have for me?
If you had the choice, your weapon of choice, would it be nunchucks or a lightsaber?
This is so easy.
And why?
Nunchucks, because Michelangelo is one of the greatest fighters of all time, funniest of all time, and he loves pizza. So, sorry lightsabers, you lost this one. And nunchucks are illegal in the state of New York, so that would be even more fun. To know how to use them and nobody know that I have them. So, maybe I already do, who knows. All right, Coach, what's your final one?
Not including the girls lacrosse team. Favorite, least favorite West Genesee teams that you interviewed?
Well, this is not a political answer. I don't have any least favorite because they've all been fun. The coaches and the players, and I mean that. But I don't know, everybody in their own right, because you all ask me different questions. I will say, I'll say this about West Genesee. Every single student athlete has been kind. When I say, hey, can we have 3 players, 4 players, couple players, the whole team shows up. The parents show up. Grandma, grandpa, aunts and uncles show up. People in the community show up. So West Genesee, the amount of love and support, the amount of support that I've gotten for what I do for a living from connecting here, and as I've said to other teams, it makes me want to root for you even more when I get to know you. And I can say that the parents and the kind of guardians aspect of it, and even you as a coach, you should all know that you're doing something right with these young men and women because they've impressed me. So that's what I have to say about that. You've impressed me. So with that being said, Eliza McCall, Adriana Nojame, Coach Kevin Hennigan, Emma Perry, and myself, Dan Tortora, are going to thank you one more time for being here, and make sure that you listen to Wake Up Call Monday through Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. on wakeupcalldt.com. And if you get a chance, maybe go out and support West Genesee Girls Lacrosse. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. And thank you to the Wildcat. Give them a round of applause, too. Keep it rolling for the Wildcat. Thank you so much. Have a great night. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you.
This is a wake-up call, fast break.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315 487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
Welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora on wakeupcalldt.com, your one-stop sports shop, and on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. The amount of pride and appreciation I have in this community is overwhelming. It is tremendous. And if you've learned anything from hearing these young women, Emma Perry, as well as Eliza McCall and Adriana Nojame, head coach Kevin Hennigan, to everybody that we've talked to, we have been so blessed at the Wildcat Sports Pub, like I said, to have boys and girls basketball, boys and girls lacrosse, football, as well as boys ice hockey. It has been such a true blessing. We intend to have as many student athletes and coaches out there in the coming years as we possibly can. It is only just beginning in my heart. And I just I appreciate you all so very much. To all the mothers and fathers I've gotten to meet, to the grandparents, to the the little kids that come out and support, whether it's their big sister or their big brother, or the coaches' kids and whatnot, to aunts and uncles and friends and the team. Every time I say, hey, we're gonna because we can't interview everybody, and so I always say to the coaches, pick a few players and we'll do a show, and the team just shows up, and we almost do end up interviewing everybody because the players are interacting with the players that are sitting in this roundtable discussion, and we got to learn, as you heard in there, from so many different players, and hear sleepovers and whose house are they at and who's the funniest person on the team and so on and so forth. And it's such a blessing. It really is. And I'm so honored to have the connection that I have with the schools in central and upstate New York. I look for that to only grow as time goes on. And I want to, again, give a special thank you to the West Genesee Wildcats girls lacrosse team, to West Genesee Athletics, to the school itself. I want to thank each and every one of you, Kevin Hennigan, Emma Perry, Eliza McCall, Adriana Nojame, and the entire team, and all of their supporters, all of the alumni of West Genesee and everybody connected to the community, all of the patrons and supporters of the Wildcat Sports Pub on 3680 Milton Avenue in Camillus, New York, in the Home Depot Plaza. Thank you so much for that. And I also want to thank today Coach Q for coming on to the show live, Katie Kalinsky with Coaching with Class. We do that every Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. But because we're taking a little vacation here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, she was generous enough to change her schedule, and she's been on the West Coast the last couple of weeks, and she's done the show at 6 o'clock in the morning. So bless her heart. She has been a trooper, and she deserves some of this, because it is not easy to wake up, especially when you have the jarring of going coast to coast. And so I thank her for that. I thank Carvel DeWitt for the annoying moment of the week. I thank you for being a part of the show. I will miss you dearly on the live feed. We will be back next Wednesday, a week from today, on the 30th, to continue the live Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora shows. We don't take breaks often, but when we do, it's because we want to spend time with family that we love. So thank you for understanding and for appreciating everything here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. WakeUpCallDT.com has a show archive that goes all the way back to July of 2012. Enjoy that. If you're looking for something to do while we're off the air until next Wednesday, I'll make it plain and simple for you. There are over 960 shows. By going to WakeUpCallDT.com, you can click on the show archive. You can also, on the homepage of WakeUpCallDT.com, click on the RSS feed, the iTunes podcast, the Podbean podcast, or TuneIn Radio, whatever your fancy is. Listen to the shows, download them, save them, and continue to be part of the hundreds of thousands of people that have downloaded and listened to our show. It is crazy to me to give you that number and say that to you as I sit here today, because every single one of you counts, and every single one of you matters, and every single listener that I've ever had in my life, viewer, reader, person that I've met face-to-face at a live show, social media, whatever it may be, you have been absolutely amazing. And I've met so many great people in this world, and we always focus on the negative, and we always focus on the people that aren't that great. I challenge myself and you to focus on all the amazing people that we have met. So many of you live in central and upstate New York, and I love you dearly. This is my home. So God bless you, and thank you so much for your support. Find me on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, on Twitter at CallDT, and on Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. With all of that being said, you have WakeUpCallDT.com. You have the archive, over 960 shows. I love you. I look forward to speaking with you next Wednesday, May 30th. Once again, thank you to Coach Q, as well as Katie Kalinsky and the West Genesee Wildcats girls lacrosse team. Tonight, we will be on the other side of town and the other side of the matchup. We will be with Cicero North Syracuse today, and I'm very excited. CNS and I do a show at Chick-fil-A Cicero every single month. We just started it a couple months ago. This is our third show, and it will feature Remarkable Athletes Senior Spotlight, which focuses in on athletes from all different sports at Cicero North Syracuse. A kind of change up to the show. We've been having each month different teams come on. This is going to be a mixture of teams from Cicero North Syracuse, and we're ecstatic about the opportunity to share this with you. I want to let you know really quick here that we will be there tonight, Wednesday, May 23rd at 6 p.m. That is 6 p.m. So right when you get out of work, do what you got to do, and then get in the car and hang out with us. Or if you have the luxury of getting out early or coming straight from work, just come straight to Chick-fil-A Cicero and get yourself a seat. As we all know, it's very hard to find seats at Chick-fil-A Cicero because of how amazing they have been. Over 3,000 of you have interacted with us on Facebook about this event. Over 5,000 of you have interacted with us on Twitter about this event, which is, once again, Remarkable Athletes Senior Spotlight with CNS, the North Stars, live tonight at Chick-fil-A Cicero at 6 p.m. We start. Amani Free from girls basketball, Eric Pride from football, Jessica Manili from girls lacrosse, and Lucas Merluzzi from football and basketball. Put it on the calendar. Remind yourself today. Set it up in your phone and plan on seeing us tonight seeing us with CNS. CNS will be on location. The North Stars are landing at Chick-fil-A Cicero tonight, May 23rd at 6 p.m. We can't wait to see you out there, and we thank Amani, Eric, Jessica, and Lucas in advance, as well as owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, Jimmer Sikowski, for the opportunity to once again bring something special to the community by the grace of God and by the vehicle of Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora that God has blessed me with. I'll talk with you all tonight. I'll see you at 6 p.m. And in the meantime, God bless you. I'll be back live next Wednesday right here on mixlr.com/wakeupcalldt. And in the meantime, wakeupcalldt.com, RSS feed, iTunes Store, Podbean Store, as well as the TuneIn Radio app. All of those have over 960 shows, and also the show archive tab on wakeupcalldt.com will get you there as well. Thank you so much for all that you do, and have yourselves a phenomenal Wednesday. I can't wait to see you tonight, and I can't wait to spend some awesome quality time being a big old kid with my wife. God bless you all.